Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I'd like to give you a guide for level 3 Magic Trial of Odin. For Magic Earth we have a few more options depending on your account, because we have Vincent and Yuffie as strong Magic Earth DPS, especially now Yuffie with her new AC weapon that buffs Earth damage, but there's still Sephiroth as well, so at least here I have an actual weapon. But the ball is the same, so just be mindful and don't spam attacks so that you don't break the gauge prematurely. Control your DPS and break it before you see 1 on the countdown and you'll be fine. And my team is pretty much the same team I used for physical Odin, and I only swapped few weapons for magic, and I also swapped Cloud for Sephiroth, who might not be dealing high DPS, but he can debuff earth resistance and also still do quite nice damage. However, keep that in mind that unlike Cloud, Sephiroth doesn't have reprieve, so it makes the battle a little bit more risky. Aerith has reprieve outfit with Breath of the Earth, Baharroth for heals and P-Def buffs. Sage again can apply exploit weakness, but I won't use it and it just serves as a HP stat stick, but you can swap it for Terra or Camera. And if you have Sage Staff yourself, you can use it in a battle to make Lucia hit a little bit harder. 2 P-Def stat sticks and a Cura for single target heals. And then sub-equipment slots, Aerith has 2 guild weapons with physical defense for allies. And Aerith also has the highest HP because I want her to be targeted by Odin's single target attacks. Lucia has reprieve outfit with cheering shots, guild weapon with physical defense for allies, Shinra with Enfeeble, P-Def stat stick, Debrave to debuff Odin's physical attack, and also Earth Potency Materia with Exodro. And then sub-equipment slots, Lucia has a magic attack for allies weapon. And also Lucia has an Earth magic DPS weapon, so if you want you could swap guild weapon with that magic Earth DPS weapon for some sub DPS, and you could just put 2 guild weapons in those 2 sub-equipment slots. Sephiroth has Omni Arcanum outfit with Titan, and you could give him Heliaca Rising to amplify the next attack, but I just have Titan to ensure that I can break the gauge in time. Blue Bramble for DPS and to debuff Earth resistance, Odin for exploit weakness, Genji 3 Earth Potency Materia and 1 with Exodro. And I also have 2 physical ones for a bit more physical defense. And in sub-equipment slots, Sephiroth only has Razor Ring to max out magic attack and further boost Earth Potency. And the opening is exactly the same, so Shinra Rifle to get Enfeeble Amp, the extra EB off. Then P-Def buffs with Aerith, exploit weakness, and also don't forget about Debrave materia on the boss. So with Enfeeble, that Debrave is like mid potency physical attack debuff. And now heal, and Aerith will be the one who is being trapped, mainly because with Lucia we can break this surface much easier. So just activate Overspeed to get her limit break, and then you also get 2 extra AP, so it just makes the surface much less stressful. And now actually, because Lucia can break so many sigils by herself, we can just start doing DPS with actual weapons ability. But also here during the stagger phase, I recommend already buff physical defense buff. I mean apply physical defense buff, because with this Ring of Helheim, you have to buff physical defense even more, just to nullify those debuffs. And alright, there it is, trapped, that's fine. But also, similar to physical Odin with Cloud, if you use Overspeed during that stagger phase, don't use Titan because you can't break this Earth gauge too quickly, and otherwise it would be an overkill. But at least the way I play this battle is very similar. It's just about doing DPS but controlling it and not doing too much. Because yes, we want to keep the gauge close to being at minimum, but don't overkill it, because then the boss will buff himself way too quickly. And that will also leave you a lot less time to finish him off. And also another thing, Sephiroth doesn't have reprieve, so if he is being targeted, he dies, and then basically you have no DPS left on your team. And here, after the single target attack, don't heal immediately, wait for this Ring of Helheim, because it's always after each attack, so then you can heal and already buff physical defense again. So just to nullify that debuff. Also, if you have Genji, I recommend don't use it either at the beginning or mid-battle. Just wait until that countdown is nearing 1, so then you can get more DPS off. And if Lucy is being targeted, it's perfectly fine. Because she has Gale weapon in her main weapon slot, her earth resistance, her wind resistance and physical defense is greatly increased, so that is actually very good. And it doesn't hurt if she gets targeted. Just as long as it's not Sephiroth, really. And just those chain shots to get magic attack buff on Sephiroth, and we can actually start breaking the gauge. Perfect. Mainly because I kind of time it on the 3rd single target attack. Now try to break the gauge, because after this the one that will follow is very shortly afterwards. So you still have a little bit time left, but also not too much. And that was a little bit unfortunate, as I think my exploit weakness might have expired. Not yet. I wasn't sure if I timed it correctly or not. But yeah, here I also save Breath of the Earth afterwards, because after Zantetsuken you want to start healing, so you want to have saved AB, and Breath of the Earth just nullifies those physical defense debuffs that come up just before it. So it's, I think, the best way to save AB, to just recover. But now comes the risky phase, mainly because Sephiroth doesn't have a reprieve, so you have to pray that he doesn't get targeted. Exploit weakness, and feeble. Also, Sephiroth just continues DPS here, but also chain shots to get a little bit off, because with chain shots I think you can just spam this limit break anytime you can. Deep breath, even though it won't really matter. Because Aerith, with my stats, she can't really survive. Or at least, I think with those she might. Yeah, okay. Because I changed Aerith stats just tiny bit from the Earth team, so with those stats she can. It is very close, but she can. And just a little bit more. And it's perfect. As long as you don't lose reprieve, it just prolongs the battle, because the character just avoided that, so it's still active. Alright, the buffs are still here. And done. The battle is still quite difficult, and also the stress from the possibility of Sephiroth dying because you suddenly don't have reprieve, and he is the only character who doesn't have reprieve in the team. So also losing him would also cost you the battle, but yeah, it is still very much doable. But also with Vincent, his weapon deals a lot more damage, but you would have to just get Earth resistance debuffs on Lucia then. So it will be the same as physical team. But yeah, that will be all. So I hope you found my guide helpful. Also good luck on your own clear, and in the meantime thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.